guys, today we're going to be making a random password generator with Python. It's going to be a GUI app, a graphical user interface app. So we're going to be using tkinter. So let's get started. I'm just going to open my code editor, which in my case is PyCharm. So let me start a new project here. Okay, new project. I'm gonna name it password generator app. Okay. Let me maximize this. Okay, so I'm just going to create a file inside this project called main.py. Alright, so like I said, this is a GUI project, so we're going to be using tkinter. So the first thing we have to do is to import the libraries we're going to use, starting with tkinter itself. Let's import. As then we're going to import the random module. The third thing that I want us to import is the string module. Alright, so we're going to be using these three libraries. Alright, now I want to define a function which will generate our password. This is the heart of the code, so you have to pay attention at this point. Alright, so this requires you to have a previous knowledge of Python functions. So if you don't know about Python functions, if you are new to Python, you might want to check our video on functions. Alright, so let's define a new function, generate password. Remember, when choosing an identifier name, you have to go with the convention, right? So you have to go with the convention. That's why I use the small, I use the lowercase, and then there's this dash in between. What do you call it? The underscore in between. Alright, so this wants to generate code for me, so I can just press tab. It will auto complete the code for me. Alright, so under this function we want to length of the password. So we are going to allow the user to specify the length of the password he or she wants. So that's int, because we're going to calculate, we're going to work with this data, so we can't just use just any data type. We have to use a number data type like int. Alright, so it should be an integer. And then how are we going to get the value? How are we going to get it? We're going to prompt the user to enter it using the entry widget. So like I said earlier, if you are new to Python, you might want to check our videos on functions and also on tkinter itself. Entry.get. Alright. So then characters, the kind of characters we want to have in our passwords. So remember that we already imported the string module. So we're going to use this method string dot ASCII letters. Okay, I have it here. ASCII letters plus, meaning that what kind of characters, what sort of characters do we want in our passwords? So we want ASCII letters, meaning that the letters that are found in the ASCII. So then we want digits also to be added. So we're going to write digits plus digits. Digits is 0 to 9. Then plus I goofed. So string dot digits. So basically what this string does is that it selects characters, right? So string dot digits, then string dot punctuation as it auto completes it for me here. Let me just press tab. So these are the set of the character sets I want, right? These are the character sets I want. So then the password itself, okay, equals an empty string then dot join, meaning that we're going to append some stuffs to it, right? So what are we joining to it? What are we appending to it? Random. Remember we imported random the other time, so we're going to pick random choices. So random dot choice, and we're picking the choice from characters itself. In fact, it is auto completing this code for me, so we're going to, I could just press tab and make it complete for me. So we're picking random choices from these characters that has been defined here. We're picking random choices there, and then these random choices we are using a for loop to pick characters one at a time, right? For how long? Just for as long as this length that the user specified. So if it is 5 that the user specified as length, we're going to select the characters 5 times, right? 5 times randomly. All right. Then the results. Now the results, we are going to use a result label to display later on, but here let's just have it like this: results label dot config. Okay, let's config text equals to password. So meaning that what we're going to put in this result label will be this password. Label is just a widget in Tkinter that is used to display text, right? Okay, so now let's go into the GUI building, the GUI build up. So let's build the main window. Here, let me put a comment here. It's good practice to comment your code. So here, function to generate password, to generate a random password. Alright, here is the main window. Alright, so how do we create a main window in Tkinter? Just write your root. You can use any name. You can use window, you can call it window, you can call it root, you can call it app, whatever you want to call it. So I want to call it root. Root equals tk. Remember I imported Tkinter's tk, small tk like this. So I'm going to call it with this. Alright. So tk dot capital T and small k like this. So that's how I'm going to call it. So I've just created a main window. So I want to add a title. Of course, what's an app without a title? So let me add a title to it. Root dot title. I'm going to call it password generator app. Alright. So let's give it let's give it a size. So that's root dot geometry. Root dot geometry. I don't want this size. I want 300 by, let's say, 200. Alright. So now that we're done creating the window, the main window, now let's add the widgets, because the widgets is what gives it functionality. The widgets is what gives it functionality. So let's have our first label, tk dot label. Okay, anytime you are, no, sorry, this is a comment. Okay, add widgets. Add widgets. Okay, so the first widget we are adding is the label. tk.label. Okay, so what's that label? It's just like the title, right? It's just like the heading. So now whenever you are creating a widget, whenever you're adding a new widget, you have to first specify the parent of the widget. Remember, this widget is going to be in the root window, right? So write root first. Okay, root. Then you separate every component of this with comma, right? Separate with comma. So root. Then the text. The text is going to be password generator. No, the text is going to be password length. Password length, because I want to collect data from user. Data specifying the length of the password that the user wants. So I could just say here, enter desired password length. Alright, and I'm going to pack it. To pack it means to properly place it in the window, so that it will be properly placed in the window. So I'm going to pack it, and then I'm going to give it a padding, a vertical padding of 5, just to make sure it's well displayed. A vertical padding of 5. Then length entry. This is where we enter the length. This is the entry field itself. This is the entry field that collects the data from the user. Okay, so length entry equals to tk.entry. Just like we did here, tk.label. This is how you create widgets. This is how you create widgets, and you give it a parent. You put it under the parent root. Put it under the parent root. So there's nothing else to add here. There's nothing else to add here. Though we could have something like width, blah blah blah, but we don't want to do that right now. Let's just leave all those. Our goal is just to make a simple app. Alright. Then we're going to pack the length entry also. I'm going to pack the length entry. Okay. Now that we have packed the length entry, so let's move on to add a button. Let's move on to add a button. So tk.button. Okay. The parent is root. The text is to. Now the button is what the user will click to generate the password. So, and then the command is what does the button do. So we want the button to call this function. So that is why we are going to just follow what this suggestion is. So it's going to call this function generate password. We are going to pad it also. We're going to pack it and put a padding of 5, the vertical padding of 5. Alright, so length okay. So now let's just put a label now to display the generated password, because if we have a button, if we have a label, we have our entry, and then we have our button to generate the password. But after generating the password, where do we display it? So let's add a label to display it. Let's add a label to display it. We call it results label. It's called the result label. It has been specified there actually, but then we have to define it here. So the result label will be tk.label, and the parent will be root. The parent will be root. So and then I'm going to put text. Text equals a string like that. All right. And then we're going to put a wrap length just to make sure it's fixed. The wrap length equals to let's say 250. So let's pack it then. Result label dot pack. Result label dot pack. Okay. So let's give this one a slightly different padding. Let's give it 10. Okay. Now that we have our function to generate the password, we have the main window setup. We have the widgets, the label, buttons, and the likes. Now the last thing to do would be to write code to keep our loop running. So let's make our loop to start, our app to start running. So that's root.main loop, which will keep our app running. So let's see what we have done. Let's run this. Okay. So we have enter desired password length. Enter desired password length. Okay, let me just increase the size a bit, not so much. That is our password length. Okay, I want a length of 5, so let me click generate. So I have capital L, capital D, I, and B. So if I change it to 10, see what I have. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And if I keep on clicking generate, it will keep on generating random passwords for me. So this could be a very useful tool for you. So if you enjoyed this video, just give it a like, and ensure you share also. If you are visiting our channel for the first time and you are yet to subscribe, please ensure you subscribe. So see you next time.